If you found yourself questioning what's hidden behind the world's oldest gateways, don't leave this mystery unsolved. Subscribe now to Secret Sign Society. Here, every symbol tells a story, and only our community dares to search for what others fear to ask. New secrets revealed every week. Hit the subscribe button, join our circle of seekers, and let's keep unlocking the forbidden together. Tell us in the comments, where have you seen the twin pillars? What mysteries do you think are still hidden in plain sight? Your voice keeps the truth alive, and you never know which story will be the next to change everything. They rise in silence at the threshold of every Masonic lodge, two massive columns, often engraved with mysterious symbols, sometimes shining in gold, sometimes standing in dark, unadorned stone. For most, they're just decoration. But for those who know, the two pillars, Boaz and Jachin, are far more. They are the lost gateway, the ancient code, the line that divides the world of the uninitiated from the keepers of the oldest secrets on earth. You may have seen them before, in the ruins of Solomon's Temple, on the great cathedrals of Europe, even hidden in plain sight at government buildings, universities, or on the sets of blockbuster movies. They appear in royal crests, dollar bills, even in the architecture of the Vatican. But what do they really mean? Why do the world's most powerful people, kings, presidents, musicians, movie stars, surround themselves with these symbols, sometimes without ever speaking a word about them? Let's step through the forbidden gateway together. Before you go further, subscribe to Secret Sign Society. Here, every symbol has a story, and the ones you're about to hear are the most dangerous of all. The original pillars, a legend of power and downfall. The legend begins thousands of years ago in Jerusalem. According to the Bible and Masonic lore, King Solomon, the wisest man of his age, built a temple said to be the dwelling place of the divine. At its entrance stood two pillars, Boaz, in strength, and Jachin, he will establish. But they were not mere supports. They were the gatekeepers of the mysteries within. Some say these pillars held coded inscriptions, lost to time, that could grant unimaginable power, or unleash utter ruin. Priests, rulers, and invaders all fought for control of the temple, believing the true secret was not inside, but in the meaning of these twin columns. After the temple was destroyed, legends grew darker. Whispered stories claimed that whoever rebuilt or misused the pillars would control or doom empires. Secret societies, alchemists, and renegade priests were said to seek fragments of the lost inscriptions, willing to kill or die for a single word. The pillars crossed the world. As the centuries turned, the twin pillars appeared in new guises. Knights Templar, the legendary warrior monks accused of heresy and worshipping secret idols, were said to use pillars in their secret rites, swearing oaths of loyalty between them. When the Templars were destroyed by kings and popes, rumors spread that their survivors carried the secrets of the pillars into exile, hiding them within the early Freemasons. By the Renaissance, the two pillars became a mark of forbidden knowledge. Some of the most famous scientists and artists of all time, Galileo, Newton, even Leonardo da Vinci, hid pillar imagery in their works. Did they know the secret? Some say yes. Others say it was simply a sign of respect to the ancient mysteries. Modern pillars, celebrities and scandal. Fast forward to today. Walk through the grand entrances of Washington, D.C., London, Paris, or Rome, and you'll see them. Columns flanking the doors of power. Rumors have always swirled that major political figures, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and even current world leaders, chose these designs deliberately, signaling allegiance to forces hidden behind the veil of public life. In Hollywood, directors and set designers have long used the image of the two pillars to signal hidden plots, cults, and secret knowledge. Some celebrities, rumored to be Masons or part of other secret societies, have photographed themselves between pillars as a subtle message to insiders. A famous story says that during the height of the Cold War, secret meetings took place in a private Masonic lodge in Berlin, attended by both American and Russian spies. They met in a room dominated by two ancient pillars, said to be crafted from stone taken from the ruins of Solomon's Temple. What was decided between those pillars may have shaped the fate of nations. The pillars and the occult. The controversy doesn't stop there. Some say the two pillars are not just symbols of strength and establishment, but of duality, good and evil, light and darkness, order and chaos. Occult writers from Eliphas Levi to Aleister Crowley, and even pop stars like Madonna and Jay-Z, have referenced the pillars in their music, stage design, or personal art, sparking theories that these symbols carry a charge of ancient magic, able to empower or destroy, depending on the user's intention. In the world of conspiracy, it's claimed that passing between the pillars in ritual is a metaphor for gaining secret knowledge or access to forbidden power, whether in government, finance, or entertainment. Critics warn that this is more than play acting, that history is full of those who sought to master the gateway, only to lose themselves to its shadow. Stories they never tell outsiders, hidden within Masonic ritual, are chilling warnings. That the pillars are a test. If you approach with a pure heart, you gain wisdom. If with arrogance or greed, you court disaster. That many of history's most spectacular rises and sudden downfalls can be traced to those who tried to force open the gateway of the two pillars without respect for the mysteries inside. In whispered stories among Masons, it's said that some of the world's most tragic celebrity scandals began after private rituals involving the pillars, where participants ignored the warnings, seeking fame, power, or forbidden pleasures, only to lose everything soon after. Reflection for the brave. So what are the two pillars, really? Are they just stone and legend? Or a code hiding in plain sight, passed down by builders, revolutionaries, and rulers who knew the true price of stepping through the gateway? Maybe the only way to know is to ask yourself, if you stood at the threshold, would you step between them? What would you hope to find? And what would you be willing to risk or lose? If this story challenged your beliefs, subscribe to Secret Sign Society. Share your thoughts below. Do you think the pillars are just decoration or something more? Have you ever seen these symbols in places that made you wonder? Remember, every symbol has a shadow, and some doors, once opened, can never be closed. Pillars in the halls of power. Coincidence or secret code? It's easy to dismiss the two pillars as ancient myth, but open your eyes and you'll see them everywhere, always guarding the threshold, always silent, always watching. Look at the main entrance of the U.S. Supreme Court, the British Museum, the United Nations headquarters in New York. Walk the steps of Harvard, Yale, or Oxford and count the pillars flanking the entry. Architects claim it's just tradition, but some researchers say the persistence of this motif is a subtle nod to the power that flows through the world's true gatekeepers. It doesn't end with buildings. On the U.S. dollar bill, look at the depiction of the Great Seal, two pillars, holding up the motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Coincidence? Or a secret handshake for those who know how to read the code? Celebrities, pillars, and the occult. Let's turn to Hollywood, where nothing is ever as simple as it looks. A-listers and megastars are often photographed at exclusive parties or gala events. Look carefully and you'll spot pillars flanking the red carpet, at private entrances, or even built into the set design for movie premieres. Rumor has it that one of the most famous actors of the 21st century insisted on building a private home with two marble columns at the entry, exact replicas of the Boaz and Jachin pillars described in ancient texts. To the press, he called it classic style. To friends in the know, it was a symbol of his secret path to power. Music videos for chart-topping pop and rap artists often flash images of two pillars in the background. Quick, easy to miss, but always there. Some fans claim it's just aesthetic. Others are convinced it's a sign of allegiance to secret societies, a modern passing between the pillars, broadcast to millions. Even in fashion, major designers have held shows in venues with prominent twin columns and dressed models to parade between them. High society, it seems, loves to flirt with the forbidden. When ritual goes wrong, the pillars and scandal. History is full of stories where those who tried to use the power of the pillars were met not with glory, but with catastrophe. In the roaring 1920s, a famous European banker, rumored to be a high-ranking Mason, held private parties where business and politics mingled. He would only sign deals with partners who agreed to a secret ritual, stepping between two pillars in his mansion's entryway at midnight. For a time, he was untouchable. But soon after, scandal erupted, exposed in the press, ruined in court, and dead within the year under mysterious circumstances. Friends whispered that he had misused the gateway. Whether true or not, his story became a cautionary tale. Another legend tells of a powerful Hollywood producer in the 1980s who threw lavish parties for celebrities, politicians, and musicians. At each party, the most exclusive room was guarded by two ancient pillars. Guests who entered were said to make pacts, break taboos, and chase pleasures forbidden outside those walls. Years later, the producer's empire collapsed in a cascade of betrayals, lawsuits, and tragedy. To this day, former guests avoid mentioning the pillars, or what happened beyond them. Are the pillars watching you? The most unsettling rumors aren't about what the pillars mean, but about what they might do. In Masonic initiation, the candidate is led between the pillars as a test, to leave behind their old self and step into the unknown. But some insiders warn that this is a two-edged sword. The pillars amplify whatever you bring with you, virtue or vice, courage or fear. Some who pass through experience life-changing luck, meteoric rises, or flashes of inspiration. Others descend into scandal, loss, or madness. There are stories of public figures who, after a private ceremony involving the pillars, suddenly changed, their personalities, fortunes, even beliefs shifting overnight. Biographers and journalists have tried to piece together timelines, noticing the strange alignment between such rituals and career-defining moments, both glorious and disastrous. The pillars in world events. Conspiracy theorists point to major world events, revolutions, assassinations, sudden resignations, and find the shadow of the pillars nearby. Was the fall of the Berlin Wall decided at a secret lodge with leaders passing between twin columns? Did the election of surprise world leaders or the crash of financial markets coincide with ceremonies involving the gateway? The public can only guess, but rumors fuel endless speculation. And what about the famous photo of two presidents shaking hands between two marble columns? Was it staged for history, or did it signal something deeper? A deal made, a truth revealed, a price paid, the invitation, and the warning. What draws the powerful, the ambitious, the creative to the two pillars? Is it superstition, or the instinct that some doors once crossed change you forever? Masonic tradition teaches that passing between the pillars is only for the worthy, the humble, the truly seeking. But history is full of those who stepped through for vanity, power, or thrill, and paid the price. Ask yourself, if you found yourself before the two pillars, would you dare to cross? Would you do it for knowledge, for power, for belonging, for love? And what would you risk losing in return? Final reflection. Are you ready for the gateway? Perhaps that's why the twin pillars still appear in old temples, new movies, secret societies, and public squares. They call out to the part of us that hungers for more truth, more meaning, more power. But every gateway has a guardian, and every secret comes with a cost. So next time you see two columns guarding a doorway, a stage, a tomb, or a throne, stop. Ask yourself, what stories have those stones seen? What promises have been made? What secrets still echo between them? If this story made you question what's real, subscribe to Secret Sign Society. Share in the comments. Have you ever seen the two pillars in a place that made you wonder? What do you believe is hidden behind the world's most guarded gates? Remember, some gateways, once entered, can never be left behind. The shadow side, broken oaths and fallen stars. History is littered with those who believed they could control the power of the pillars, only to fall victim to their own hubris. Insiders tell tales, never confirmed but always whispered, of politicians whose rise was as meteoric as their fall, traced back to private initiations between the pillars of exclusive clubs and shadowy organizations. It is said that more than one scandal, career-ending, reputation-destroying, can be traced to a broken oath or a secret pact sealed between twin columns. There are stories from the Roaring Twenties where notorious bootleggers and bankers would meet in private rooms flanked by marble pillars, dividing fortunes and fates with a handshake. Some became legends, others vanished into obscurity or prison, as if the pillars themselves decided who was worthy. The pillars in secret societies, not just Masonry. While Freemasonry claims the pillars as a core symbol, rival secret societies have copied, twisted, and even stolen the imagery for their own use. The mysterious Rosicrucians, for example, built entire chapters around the concept of passing between the pillars, claiming it granted access to lost wisdom. In some cults and underground movements, the pillars are invoked during midnight rituals, their meaning warped to justify power games, manipulation, or worse. Even certain fraternities at elite universities have adopted twin columns at their entrances, their true purpose concealed by tradition and secrecy. Is it all theater? Or does the repeated use of this image hint at a power, psychological or real, that transcends organizations and eras? Pop culture and hidden messages. Look closely at the world's most watched events. Award shows, political inaugurations, global summits. How often do two imposing columns frame the stage? The red carpet or the handshake seen around the world? Is it just aesthetics? Or are set designers and event planners subtly nodding to a legacy of power that the public senses but can't quite name? Take blockbuster movies. The hero passes between two pillars before gaining new powers or uncovering a family secret. The villain is revealed, framed by columns, as the gatekeeper of forbidden knowledge. Even children's cartoons and games use the image, as if training new generations to recognize the gateway when they see it. It's everywhere, hiding in plain sight. The price of curiosity. There's a saying among some Freemasons: not all who step between the pillars find what they seek. Some lose themselves forever. Authors who have investigated the world's most powerful secret societies report disappearances and ruined careers among those who got too close to the truth. Was it just coincidence? Or did they stumble through a doorway that demanded a price? In the 1960s, a British journalist became obsessed with the twin pillars after tracing their appearance in Parliament, royal architecture, and even the MI6 headquarters. After publishing a book claiming the pillars were the key to controlling England, his career unraveled amid rumors, leaks, and sudden personal misfortune. He died penniless, still claiming he was cursed by the gateway. His story became a legend among conspiracy circles, a warning to those who dig too deep, the spiritual meaning, and the ultimate temptation. Despite all the stories of power and downfall, the true message of the pillars is older than any society or scandal. In ancient myth, to pass between the pillars was to be reborn, to leave behind ignorance and step into wisdom. But true initiates warned, only those who approach with humility, pure intent, and a willingness to accept the cost will find enlightenment. For the rest, the gateway is a trap, a mirror reflecting back every secret wish, every hidden flaw. The twin pillars are a test. Will you enter seeking to serve or to dominate? Will you use what you learn to help others or only yourself? Are you ready to lose everything you think you know, to gain something greater, or risk being lost forever? The pillars in you, the hidden gateway in everyday life. This story isn't just for celebrities, politicians, or the elite. Every day, in small ways, we all face gateways. Choices that test our motives, our integrity, our willingness to step into the unknown. The twin pillars exist in the decisions we make when no one is watching. The moments when we choose courage over comfort, truth over popularity, meaning over safety. Have you passed between your own pillars lately? What did you find on the other side? The invitation, and one last warning. If you think this is all just myth and metaphor, ask yourself, why do the powerful, the creative, the ambitious all seem drawn to the same ancient symbols? Why do those who enter the world's most exclusive circles keep passing between two pillars, again and again, from temple to courtroom, from studio to parliament, from rumor to headline? Maybe, deep down, we all sense there is a threshold between the life we have and the life we could live, guarded by secrets, tested by risk, waiting for those brave enough, or foolish enough, to cross. Will you step through? Call to action. Join the Society of the Curious. If this story made you see the world differently, subscribe to Secret Signs Society. Comment below. Have you noticed the twin pillars where you least expected? What do you believe is waiting on the other side of the world's oldest gateway? Remember, some doors open to light, others to shadow. Every choice is a passage, and every story, once begun, will demand its price. What will yours be? If you found yourself questioning what's hidden behind the world's oldest gateways, don't leave this mystery unsolved. Subscribe now to Secret Signs Society. Here, every symbol tells a story, and only our community dares to search for what others fear to ask. New secrets revealed every week. Hit the subscribe button, join our circle of seekers, and let's keep unlocking the forbidden together. And tell us in the comments, where have you seen the twin pillars? What mysteries do you think are still hidden in plain sight? Your voice keeps the truth alive, and you never know which story will be the next to change everything. As you reflect on all the gateways you've seen, on screen, in city streets, at the doors of power, Remember, not every mystery is solved in a single story. Sometimes, the questions you dare to ask matter more than the answers anyone claims to give. If you've made it this far, you're not just a watcher. You're a seeker. So don't let this be your last journey into the shadows of history. Subscribe to Secret Signs Society right now. By joining our community, you're saying yes to the challenge. To keep your eyes open, your mind questioning, and your curiosity burning. No matter where the path leads, tap the subscribe button and help us build a society where every question is welcome and every symbol is a new adventure. And if you've ever passed between two pillars, real or metaphorical, share your story in the comments below. What did you find? Did you discover truth, or was it only more mystery? Your story might be the key that unlocks the next secret for someone else. So stay curious, stay brave, because in this world, the real power belongs to those who dare to seek.